HOA Karen threatened eviction. Then a federal letter arrived at her door. When the notice showed up on my door, I honestly laughed at first. It was printed on cheap paper, filled with bold red text and legal-sounding threats. According to the HOA president, Karen, of course, I had violated multiple community standards and was facing immediate eviction proceedings. The reason? I had refused to repaint my fence a specific shade of beige and declined to remove a flag from my porch that was fully legal under state law. Karen didn't bother talking to me first. She never did. Instead, she marched around the neighborhood telling people I was about to be removed and that the HOA was taking control of my property. She even taped a copy of the notice to the community bulletin board like a public execution announcement. When I calmly emailed her asking for the legal basis of the eviction, she replied with one sentence, "The HOA has authority. You'll learn that soon." What Karen didn't know, because she never bothered to read beyond her own bylaws, was that my home sat on land protected under a federal housing assistance and redevelopment program from decades ago. The HOA technically existed around my property, but it had no jurisdiction over it. Even better, federal oversight still applied. I forwarded Karen's eviction threat, her emails, and photos of the posted notices to the appropriate federal housing office. I expected weeks of silence. 3 days later, a certified federal letter arrived at Karen's door. The tone wasn't dramatic. It was precise, cold, and devastating. The letter informed her that the HOA had attempted unlawful interference with federally protected housing, issued false eviction threats, and engaged in harassment. It demanded an immediate cease and desist, ordered the removal of all posted notices, and requested documentation of the HOA's claimed authority, documentation they did not have. Failure to comply, the letter stated, could result in federal penalties, loss of HOA standing, and personal liability for the signatory. That signatory was Karen. The next HOA meeting was silent. Karen didn't sit at the head of the table. She didn't speak. 2 weeks later, she resigned for personal reasons. The eviction notice disappeared. So did the fines. No one ever mentioned my fence again. Sometimes power trips end with shouting matches. Other times they end with a federal letter quietly knocking on the right door.